There are so many awesome games on the PlayStation 2, and I think I found another title that should be held in the highest regards next to all the greats. One that nobody seems to talk about. Beverly Hills Cop. Based on the movie, probably. This game is an experience that we are going to live through today, and there are not a lot of words that can be used to describe what you are about to see. Just calling it an experience is the only thing a person can say. Upon starting, we get our very first task. Sneak into the garage at night, look for evidence to put away a ring of car thieves, stay out of sight. These guys do not like cops. Spawning me into a world that looks this good. These graphics are quite impressive for a game that released in the year 2006, 1 year after Call of Duty 2, and 1 year before Halo 3. Truly impeccable. After climbing over a dumpster, I'm shown all these people walking around a junkyard looking area. A few of the automobiles are cel shaded for some reason, and one way or another, I need to sneak by all of these men to reach a ladder. An objective that is easier said than done. I tried silencing one of these people with a bullet. That did not work. Going in various pathways didn't go in my favor either, especially when this guard saw me straight through a car on numerous occasions. It's impressive the raw talent this trooper has. I'm at the first part of the game and I failed repeatedly because of him. He saw me through cars, walls, everything. Yet, when I progress further, I have people looking straight at me and not discovering me while I'm standing in a spotlight. I guess you do have to put your best employees at the front. I hope that guy gets a raise. With how blind his team is, he deserves more. After 15 minutes of being stuck here, I finally reached the end, climbed a ladder. This guy did not hear me come in. I shot him in the head for it. Somehow, nobody was alerted by his body hitting the floor. I ran into a brown-coated gentleman who was confused if I was an enemy or not. He died for that mistake. Only if he heard the gunshot a few seconds earlier, maybe his choice would have been quicker. I picked up something blue, watched a whole array of people working hard, occasionally having body jitters from their long shifts. When I made them angry, they did try their best to shoot me in what little ways the higher power let their bodies move, but you cannot stop what you can't kill. I walked through the office halls, laid a few more gang members down on the floor, used a computer that I need to get a code for, found the guard withholding said code, forcing me to do a really strange minigame. At first, I had no idea what was happening, but we press X when the pointer is over a green dot on this revolver cylinder. What is the point of it? Well, from what I understand, this was an attempt to make a very riveting and engaging sequence to earn ourselves the code. You cannot get what you want for free. You need to earn it. I really do love when games blur the lines of reality and fun. I used that newly acquired code to open the computer. Two guys grab me, who then morph into completely different character models in a matter of seconds, running me down, asking me why I am here. They clearly did not like my answers, so they tried to put me down. Could they do it? No, they could not. We return to the main garage and backup arrives. Possibly for me killing a bunch of people, I'm not entirely sure. So I went back to my Halo roots, crouch spamming to my heart's content, giving all of these enemies the business. This battle was getting so intense, the frame rate was going down to single digits. If that does not spell crazy, I don't know what does. Unfortunately, the action became too overwhelming, and the smooth-skinned organisms finally took me down, bringing me back to the beginning of this entire level. A fun punishment. No checkpoints, no saves, nothing. Just living the life of a cop to the fullest. One long marathon and expectations of perfect execution on a secondly basis. I went all the way through the bone zone again, moving at the speed of oil, but it was done. And I noticed when I got back to this battle for a second time, there are moments my bullets don't seem to do any damage. Even when the crosshair is right on my enemy, they just do a funky dance and nothing happens. Possibly my gun is faulty. So that means Beverly Hills Cop is also checking the realism box for gaming as well. How wonderful. Through the powers of not only sight, but of sound, I grabbed my jerry can, filled it up at the Juggernog machine, found a lone wolf camping behind a truck attempting to make a hero play, killed two people that spawned out of thin air from the area I just came from, filled up this car's gas tank, and watched the fancy sports car break through a garage door and a fence. making my way to what looks like a padded room. There's no sound or voice acting at all, just pure silence. Seeing my character talking on the phone about my friend Billy being kidnapped by a group of goons that I need to go after. A squadron so powerful, this guard's gun is glitching through his leg. This will surely be a tough battle. I crawled through a vent, smooth-tongued deviled my way past a guard, telling him I'm an exterminator, saw a piece of paper on the wall that looked like a shirt, told this guy to be a good little boy and give me a key, turned a conveyor belt on, and apparently me crawling through it is not suspicious at all, at least to the guys in the first room. These guys here though, they really want to bring the heat. If they could see me, but they couldn't. I went so fast, I was just a blur, appearing as a gnat flying in the wind, undoubtedly confusing all of these mortals. They were surely as confused as me when I saw this guy open a door with his mind and lock it behind himself. Unfortunately, I need to meet this guy later down the road because he's going to the area I am heading towards. All I can say about that is I'm probably fucked. On my way there, a robot tried to stop me. At least I'm guessing he's a robot because I shot him after our little conversation was done and nothing happened. He was just frozen. Made my way through a vent to reach another room of excitement, filled with enemies thinking they could put me down. They can try with all of their brains and brawn, they will all succumb to my pistol. I opened a van, found my friend William, with an onslaught of soldiers wanting me to do that exact move. It was a trap that started an all-out war. However, the more this war commenced, the more I questioned how Billiam even got caught in the first place. He was moonwalking into a wall, these people were lacing him with bullets, and he took it all without getting a scratch. All of these loyal employees working for this company tried their darndest to destroy me and my friend, but they just couldn't do it. With his existence and my gun, it just wasn't possible. I broke a gate with a forklift, caught two people slacking on the job, not ready for me to pull off this move. They walked around the corner still doing a half T-pose, so they were punished for their laziness. I had to turn electricity on, escorted Billy to a room, where sadly my bullet sponge needs to leave, forcing me to go use a computer by myself. I learned there is a shady deal at a shipping dock, and just like The Rock said at the Bad Blood press conference, he is always 10 steps ahead. Whoever my enemy team is here shared that same mentality, knowing what I was doing before I did it. Even when trying to outsmart them after taking damage, goons were waiting for me in the one place I thought I would be safe. They killed me, had to restart this entire level all over again, got back to where I was, but this time I had a plan. I'm going to weaken their front line by killing these guys behind boxes. An idea that was good on paper, just not in practice. These are not your traditional soldiers. I unloaded clip after clip after clip into Chaz Finster. This is clearly no mortal man. Why would anyone task me to do this mission if people of this caliber are on the other team? I of course died while on the retreat, but these box people are the least of my worries. The room I am actually supposed to be in is nothing short of entertainment. There are enemies everywhere, shooting at me from every angle. My frame rate keeps going down to single digits. My bullets aren't going where I'm aiming. It's awesome. I kept dying, decided to take a short break and look at the credits. It's shocking to see this game was made by more than one person. I really believed this was a one-man show, but apparently there were multiple hands in the cookie jar to deliver us this greatness. Thank you all so much. When I went back to the game, my brain was really questioning the possibility of this segment until I sneezed and pressed left on the D-pad by mistake. I've had multiple weapons this whole time and just didn't know it. Nothing informed me I could swap weapons, but I made a wonderful mistake that rivals my opposition's births. You may notice that my SMG is held in a very unique way. Possibly it's a hidden technique to get better accuracy. If you have yourself a high caliber weapon like this, give it a try and report back what happened in the comments. I of course killed everyone. A cop car does a burnout right into the building, warping me straight into a water automobile, peeling towards the previously mentioned shipping dock where nefarious actions are taking place. I got off the boat and the game is immediately going into overdrive, trying to keep itself stable with all the action going on right now. These two mannequins are talking about their shady deal and Axel, the conniving devil he is, sneaks towards the car and grabs a piece of paper off of the driver's seat. It was so fast, if you blink, you'll miss it, just like these guys did. And while sneaking through the shipping dock, I realized everyone here seems to share the same struggle of seeing a walking human. The only attention I got was from a rat. I silently moved an entire shipping container over the area. A guard starts revving up his pistol, asking me what I'm doing. I convinced him I am a good person, and he stoically stands there staring at the wall, in awe of how marvelous my existence is. Gave a guy some money so he tells no one I'm here. I thought he disappeared for a second until he started running backwards to his original position. The final man in this alleyway had eyes in the back of his head, somehow knowing I was coming. The smooth move struck again. Mr. Game & Watch stared at me from behind a counter while I read this paper. I walked around like an idiot for a few minutes, eventually just killing everyone to assert my dominance. Eventually, I found keys to open a door. And what did I do after opening that door? Opened another door. This time, though, it led me to a war zone. A place where I am more than comfortable. I am a police officer, fighting the good fight, protect and serve for the people and justice for all, by murdering dozens of guys who struggle to function in their everyday lives. My mother will be very proud of how many kills I racked up today, surely. I inevitably returned to my boat, driving off in victory, a hard day's work done, and I'm not sure what worked harder, me or the boat's colors trying to exist. But what is the best thing you can do after going on a killing spree? Going to the strip club and trying to find a drug smuggler, obviously. I walked straight up to my victim, but he won't let me in. A bouncer tells me to get out. I give him the I go to a different school, and I sneak under the desk by crouching right in front of him, letting me inside of the bar. I saw a guy pretending to drive a car while he's sitting at a table. This stripper has the most fluid animation I've seen in the entire game. I can feel myself rising by the second. My new boss gives me an objective to collect 5 cups, child's play, grab the key, used it to open an area I'm not supposed to be inside of, found another key sitting next to a rat, talked to a stripper who wanted nothing to do with a cop. Only if she knew what I was capable of, she probably wouldn't be talking to me in that tone. I saw my mortal enemy making his way down the hall, so I tried to blend in with the wall. He somehow discovered me and removed me from the building, forcing a restart. Again, you'd think in the year 2006 we could have autosaving or checkpoints, but this game is so advanced and hardcore, crybaby mechanics are not welcomed here. You need to be hardcore and repeat the last 20 minutes all over again if you make one mistake. After returning to where I was lucky enough to meet stripper number 2. She brings me into a room with even more strippers that I thought were going to beat me, mainly the one with a giant lump on the back of her neck. I meet up with a delivery driver for some reason, telling me to bring a package to an unnamed manager. When I complete my delivery, the manager tells me to get him a piece of paper on top of his car that is parked on the second floor of a strip club somehow. There's truly nothing like running around, picking up objects, going back and forth. I cannot describe how much fun all of this was. I grabbed the paper, got kicked out, but this time me getting kicked out was good because I have that paper. This story is very enthralling, I know. I've been on the edge of my seat this entire time. With the newfound knowledge on this paper, we go to an area that is completely new, expecting me to return to my murderous tendencies. Loads and loads of people try their absolute best to detain the sentient cue ball. Try as you will, no walking scarecrow can put me down, not when I am this close to victory. It's a bird, it's a plane, no, it's an untextured man running into a wall. After all of my killing, I eventually made my way to a big boat containing an epic action scene. We could have ended the whole chase right here. Why would we want to do that though, especially when there are so many more people I can kill? I grabbed a grenade launcher to blow up a part of this boat, a rare moment of creativity. I am a big fan. Ran the evil cop man into a corner, shot him to death, watched a guy pumping his gun in the background. Thankfully, he knew not to interrupt my conversation with the person I just killed. His parents taught him some real manners. That cop must have told us something very important because we go to a mansion. There was no mention of it, but we are here now. This is a place testing everything we have learned so far. Gun skills, positioning, head glitches, crosshair placement, all of it. And call me an amoeba because I absorbed all of it. The Trojan horse has arrived and is here to wipe out the entirety of this village. This seriously is just an endless battle against dozens of enemies. Everywhere you turn, any way you breathe, bullets will be coming. With all the experience I have gathered throughout this awesome game, this was still a tough fight, mainly due to the fact if I die, I need to restart the entire level, something I really don't want to have happen. We all know it will though, and I can't wait for that moment. I go from room to room, clearing out bandit after bandit, grabbing keys, opening doors, grabbing more keys, opening another door, until I reached the ultimate enemy, a soldier controlling a minigun turret with his brain, and a guy standing behind him T-posing. No hands are being used, the minigun turret is shooting puffs into the floor. I really didn't know what to do at first. I shot at this pillar and nothing happened, so I went towards it thinking I need to interact with it. Of course, the ethereal trooper blew me to smithereens. I redid the entire level over again. When I made it back here, this time I laid waste into the pillar. It worked. The threat was eradicated. We find big bad villain number 2. I could have shot him to death right here and now, but decided not to. We just want to chase him that badly. I went outside again, and all that stands between him and I is a ghost helicopter. No one is controlling the turret, no one is even flying it. This monstrosity is just shooting. It killed me, shocking, I know. On my second attempt, I shot at the chopper, and it took less bullets to destroy than the pillar did. I reached the villain guy. Everyone was talking, but nobody's mouths were moving, a classic moment in the gaming lexicon. My enemy gets on his knees, and the game just ends. That's it. This was a real game. It's one thing to play it now, but in 2006, while the Xbox 360 and PS3 were already out, you could go home from your shift at Charles Cheese, go to a store, physically grab this case off of a shelf, give a real human with a beating heart and brain actual real-life money to own it. What words can even be used to describe what we all just witnessed? People got paid money to make this. And I think it goes without saying, Beverly Hills Cop will forever go down in history as one of the greatest pieces of media this world has ever seen. If you somehow made it to the end, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, check out my last video on a newer, wonderful game that is at the same power level as this one was. Make sure to share all of your thoughts about Beverly Hills Cop in the comment section below. As always, take very good care of yourselves, and I hope to see you all again in the next video.